Good day, class. Today I'm going to continue our discussion with these two topics that we haven't discussed, and this is also included in the coverage of your examination. So there are maybe some of these topics, contents that will be included in your examination. Okay, so first is the theories on identity. Identity, we have here norms and values. Norms and values, it refers to all those ideas held in society that are considered acceptable and right. Okay, so when we say norms, these are the different ideas, beliefs, or things that are present within the society that has been that has been widely accepted by the members of the society. So these are the different things that being followed by each of the members of the society or being acceptable within the spectrum of a specific society or a community. So here we have 40 categories of norms. First is folkways, second mores, third taboos, and lastly laws. Let's talk first about folkways. Okay, so folkways are socially approved behaviors that have no moral underpinning. When we say no moral underpinning, it does not associate or based on any moral concept or idea or belief. When we say morals, these are the different things that we considered as right and we considered as wrong. Okay, so these are morals. Now, when we say no moral underpinning, folkways, these are the different ideas, different beliefs or actions that does not require any concept of being right or being wrong. Okay, so that is plainly folkways. That's just plainly the things that we do within a specific society or specific community or specific culture. Example, shaking hands is the is a means of greetings in Western cultures, while in Asian cultures we have this bowing, taking a bow. In European cultures, you have also cheek kissing or beso beso. Okay, so that are folk examples of folk ways. Shaking when we greet something or somebody. If you are from a Western culture, you shake hands. Okay, so for example, you meet your colleague or friend, and how are you? You do shaking of hands when you meet a stranger or a person for the first time. You do shaking of hands. In the other Asian countries or cultures, you take a bow. Here in our country, in Philippines, I think we can do like this, waving of hand, hi, hello. We can also do this cheek kissing, beso beso, since our country is a mix of different cultures from different influences. Okay, so those are folkways. Those are different behaviors or actions that has no any moral underpinning or does not base on morality. Okay, those are folkways. Another example when we eat in Western culture, let's say in other countries we have this uh, spoon and fork. In Australia, as what I have seen in a video in Facebook or TikTok, I saw that an Australian influencer, they do not really use bare hands in eating, but they have knife and fork, if I am right. Knife and fork. In Japan, they use chopsticks. Here in our country, we have mix of different ways of how we mostly of Filipinos, we do bare hands. Okay, so that is innate, that is unique in our country. We use bare hands in eating a meal or any. So those are different folkways. Those are different behaviors that we do, but does not require any moral basis or moralities when we do such action. So those are examples of folkways. Now the other term for or the other way around the folkways is the mores. Mores refers to norms related to moral conviction. So if a quiz does not have any basis of moral convictions or does not have moral underpinning, mores are now norms that relates to morality or does have moral basis. Okay. So example, in other cultures, during a date, especially in the first date, a couple a couple, the man must have or must will pay everything during the first date. Okay, so I think that is also present, that is also happening here in our country, Filipino culture. Men should be the one who will pay everything that you have eaten or what you have done during your date. If that man will not pay everything during the first date, or let's say pina-KKB yung babae or kaniyang-kaniyang bayad, in other words, that man will be seen as a red flag by most of Filipinos. Okay? So I think that is really that is one a hot topic few months ago, I think. Nakita na nakita ko yan sa social media, in Facebook, there are a lot of debates on what you should do during first date. Others will defend that man should not pay everything. It does not require them to do so. While others says that men should do that, should pay everything in a first date as a form of respect or delicadeza. I don't know what's their uh, claims, but that is one of the examples of no mores. Okay, they will see that if man will do or will pay everything during the first date, they will see that man as gentleman, as a good man, as a man with honor and pride. But if the man does the other way around, then that man is perceived as a red flag. Okay, they will see it as man. That man does not value the girl or the woman that he goes that he goes with a date on a date. Okay, so that is an example of Morse. There are a lot of things or behaviors that should be subjected to moral convictions. Okay, so I think one example for that, especially in religion, religion based, the premarital sex, where it is said in the Bible or in the teachings of the church that you must be married with your couple, with your husband and wife before you engage on sexual activities. But others, we do not anymore follow that kind of tradition, does not believe on that kind of teaching. So it is still being connected to morality since the church teaches that those who engage in premarital sex will have consequences, especially mortal sins like that. So that is an example of mores. Okay, it does not when we say moral conviction, you morality, it is whether it is good or bad, but as long as it is not being instituted in the law, okay, then that is considered as mores, right? Next is taboos. So taboos, these are the behaviors that are absolutely forbidden in specific culture, okay? It is not really accepted. It is strongly rejected, okay? It is not it is not open for that kind of society, for that kind of culture. It is forbidden. Example, interrupting or joining adults' conversation is a means of disrespect in the Philippines. When you do such thing, a lot of people will really get mad at you, criticize you, will really burst into anger when you do such thing. So I have experienced this kind of tradition that usually my mother and father will say that ayo pag-apil-apil kay istorya ni sa mga tiguang. Okay? So that is an example of a taboo. Yeah, as your uh, young children, okay, we are not really, it is not really advisable for us to join the discussions or conversation of adults in our family or in our relatives. So when you interrupt or join in that kind of conversation, then they will really expect really that they will get mad at you. Okay, so those are examples of taboos. Other examples of taboos is incest. That is an example of a taboo. Killing, yes, killing is a taboo, but I think that is not anymore a taboo since killing is being instituted in the law. Okay, so it is already empowered by law. And also even it says, I'm not really sure, but in other countries, they have such culture. Yes, killing is not anymore an example of taboo. And example of taboo is superstitious beliefs that one of the most common example here in our country, example of superstitious beliefs is when you sleep with wet hair, expect that your older family members or relatives will really get mad at you since they have this belief that when you sleep with wet hair, you will expect that you will have a medical condition or any unlucky or unwanted incidents that might happen towards you. Okay, so that are examples of behaviors or actions or beliefs that is forbidden in a specific culture, or in other words, taboos. Next, lastly, is laws. Law. Okay. So everything in the norms, everything that you do that was being implemented by the state, empowered by the constitution, that is now a law, right? Very understandable. Okay. For example, bomb joke. Let's say bomb joke. Let's say that you are really a humorous person, jolly person, and you does bomb joke, bomb joke here in Davao. Expect that you will really be uh, arrested by the police. Expect that you will have equivalent consequences on what you have did, since that is that is already instituted in the city ordinance of Davao. Okay, so bomb joke is not anymore accepted here. If you go in a city that does not do not have this kind of ordinance, that everyone could do jokes wherever they are, then that is not a law. Okay, it could be a more, yes, it could be a more, because it can also be constituted to morality, because joking about bombs is not for us, for a lot of people, that is not correct, that is not right. But maybe that is acceptable to others, for those who do not see that kind of joke as offensive. But here in Davao, whether you support bomb joking or you do not want bomb joking, that is really prohibited here in our city, since there is a law that implementing the city or the people to prohibit those kind of actions of bomb joking. Okay, so that is an example of laws. Everything norms that has been empowered by the state is already included in the law. Okay, so let's first recap. Theories and identity, we have norms and values. It refers to all those ideas held in society that are considered acceptable and right. Those are being followed by the members of the society. Norms and values or norms have four categories: folkways, mores, taboos, and laws. So folkways, behaviors that have no moral underpinning, that is not based on morality. It is the other way around for mores, since mores are norms that related to moral convictions or thus have moral basis. Taboos, on the other hand, are the behaviors or actions that is widely, strongly prohibited, forbidden, or rejected. So that are taboos. And then laws, these are implemented by the state, that is already constituted in the instituted in the constitution, in the city ordinance, or so on, or being empowered or being yeah, implemented by the city, by the country, state, a town, a province, etc. Okay, so those are norms and values. Another rules of theories, let's go back, theories on identity are roles and status. So this is separate, or this is different from norms. Okay, so roles and status. Roles are the sets of expectations from the people who occupy particular status. Roles are the things, the actions that is already been set by a society, a group of people that is being widely accepted within that kind of community or society, that is expected from a person on that particular status to perform. Okay. For example, what is the role of a father? Okay. The role of a father in the eyes of the society, from a general basis, okay, general perspective of a societal basis of what is the role of father. Father is the one who will seek for income, resources, the one who will earn money for the family to sustain the daily needs of the whole or entire family. Usually, the fathers are the one who will find occupations, jobs, in order to have the money that is needed to spend on different expenditures within their house. Okay, that is the common perspective of the society and the roles of the society that is being set for the fathers. Okay, that is the role of the father, is the one who will sustain the everyday needs of the family. Next is status. It is an individual's position in his or her society which carries with a set of defined rights and obligations. Status now is the position of that person or of a certain individual. Let's go back to the example of a father. Father now, the term father is the status. You can be or you will be a father if you have already a biological son or daughter. Okay? It's maybe it's not really needed to have a biological son or a father, but a